the lingams in the body are and how they are related to our internal energy. The human includes these four lingams in which alchemical transmutation takes place. Each lingam is a source of power if it is enlivened and awakened. Sometimes we feel a huge surge of energy, a vast strength such that we are ready to move mountains. This is a very important secret branch of the teachings of the Siddhas, which must be realized until the granthis are untied. There are things we usually do not even contemplate, yet they are precisely what lie at the heart of our inner strength and state of consciousness. The subtle energetic structure of a human being conceals deep mysteries that are revealed only through the journey of practice. So, let us examine what the lingams in the body are and how they are related to our internal energy and spiritual discipline. In Shaivism, there exists the concept of the linga or lingam, as well as the practice of internal wearing, known as linga dhyana or linga dharana. The teaching regarding the lingams is exceedingly mystical and esoteric. It is directly connected to our inner energy. The Chandra Jnana Agama speaks of three primary lingams. The first lingam is called Bhava Lingam. Bhava Lingam is Brahman itself, the Absolute, contemplated by yogis in a state transcending turiya, achieved through the renunciation of all senses, through the state beyond the mind, amanaska, and through the great soul's forgetting of all worldly objects and endless entities. Great yogis constantly contemplate the Bhava Lingam. Bhava Lingam is the Absolute itself. Another type of lingam is called prana linga. Prana linga is connected to the energetic system of chakras and channels. The third is called Ishta Linga. Ishta Linga is everything that is manifest. For example, the physical body is a form of Ishta Linga. The external Shiva Lingam as an image of God is also an Ishta Linga. Right now, at this moment, we are interested in the Prana Lingam. Prana Lingam belongs to the system of chakras and channels. In this connection, it is said that the human being, Nara, constitutes four lingams. The first is called Ittara Lingam. It is located between the eyebrows. The second is called Bana Lingam, which is located in the heart. The third is called Swayambhu or Dhruva, which is located below the navel. These three lingams represent three fields for the accumulation of energy. Three radiant spaces in which power and energy accumulate, and where alchemical transmutation occurs. Finally, the fourth lingam is the Sushumna Nadi, also referred to as the Jyotir Lingam. Nara, the human, includes these four lingams, in which alchemical transmutation takes place. In Tantrism, there are three concepts: Shiva, Shakti, and Nara. Shiva is heaven, Shakti is earth, and Nara is the human being. Nara as a human includes the four lingams. Shiva and Shakti communicate with each other, unite and interact by means of Nara, by means of the human, and within the human, the energetic system includes these four lingams. Accordingly, liberation occurs when these four lingams are enlivened, activated, and alchemical transmutation takes place. What does it mean to awaken the lingam within oneself? It means to awaken a pure space of light that begins to generate mystical energy, to awaken a reservoir of wisdom, love, and power. Typically, these reservoirs are sealed by granthis, Shiva Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, and Brahma Granthi. Three nodes seal these reservoirs, therefore certain efforts are required to awaken these reservoirs. Thus, we have three spaces where the elixir of immortality, the nectar, accumulates, three lingams, and depending on how much this space is opened and saturated with energy, we feel one way or another. For example, if the upper lingam is saturated with high-quality energy, our intuition works, our thinking is very clear, and we have a good memory, strong will, logic, clarity, an excellent sense of humor, and bliss. Through our intuition, we feel that destiny is leading us through life along the very best path toward liberation, and everything falls into place for us as if our internal navigation is working superbly. But sometimes there is little prana in this area. It becomes clogged for some reason, and we feel tamas. It is difficult for us to get up in the morning, our thoughts work poorly, the mind is sluggish as if our navigator has broken down, and we feel that we are not being led by the best path. We make mistakes, we make decisions erroneously, our intuition is weakened, and we are unable to foresee the future. This means the area of the upper lingam is not filled with energy, or it is energy of a low quality. Our intuitive energy depends on how much this area is purified within us. When you cannot understand the teachings, cannot pass exams, or meditate poorly, it means you need to fill this area with energy, or purify the quality of the energy. In the center of the chest is the area of the middle lingam, which is connected with our emotions, with love, with the four infinites, with pure sattva, and with the emotional body. Sometimes we abide in a superb emotional state. We can love everyone and the four infinites are our natural state. But sometimes our emotional state is fragile and we cannot love everyone. We are easily irritated over trifles, feel worthless, and fall into various limitations. This means that there is a lack of energy here, or this energy is of a low quality. We lack love and magnanimity. We are emotionally unstable. Finally, the lower lingam and the field of the lower lingam are connected with vital force. Sometimes we feel a huge surge of energy, a vast strength, such that we are ready to move mountains. We have the enthusiasm for practice, for doing techniques, for chanting mantras. We have enthusiasm everywhere, a great vital force. Sometimes we feel that even if we get up at 8 o'clock, it is difficult. There is heaviness in the body. We don't want to do anything. Apathy, sluggishness. This means the field of the lower lingam is not filled with energy, or this energy is of such an impure, coarse quality. Our self-perception depends on the state of the fields of these three lingams. The fourth lingam is the Sushumna Nadi, also called the Jyotir lingam. The Sushumna Nadi permeates these three fields, connects them, and distributes the energy of these three fields. If the Sushumna Nadi is filled, strong, and wide, then we feel happiness, ananda, self-sufficiency, wholeness, purnatva, harmony, balance, samyoga. We are reliable and stable. We have sincerity, a sense of justice, understanding, honesty, and responsibility. We can be relied upon. We have a sense of inner dignity. Inner divine greatness naturally manifests when the Sushumna is filled. We are always successful because we have Shri, radiance, prosperity. Shri means multifaceted blossoming, enough will, enough vital force to manifest divinity in the relative. This is a strong Sushumna. And we have a direct vision of reality, a kind of sincere straightforwardness. That is Sat, truth, appears directly and immediately through us. But if the central channel is weak, then we are unreliable. We were entrusted with seva and could do nothing. We made a promise there and did not fulfill it. We are unstable and unreliable because we have a very small throughput capacity. The central channel is narrow and weak. There is little energy in it and it lets little through. We do not answer for our words. The head gave a promise, but the energy did not come, and we cannot fulfill the promise. What the head gave, the legs and hands cannot do. Or the head studied that one must practice the four infinites, but the heart cannot give love because the energy did not come through the central channel. This is unreliability, a sense of being unfulfilled, a sense of dissatisfaction, inconsistency, flightiness, irresponsibility, and discontent with everything. This is also a weak Sushumna. Sometimes a person is dissatisfied and people explain to them, "Oh, everything will be fine. Oh, it's just like this." All of this is useless. One should say, your Sushumna is weak. Expand the Sushumna, do Chandali, practice pranayama. Satisfaction will simply come. Why are you walking around here with your weak Sushumna? I am exaggerating, but the point is elsewhere. The matter is inside. The matter is in the Sushumna in general. Disharmony inside and out, incompetence, insincerity, infantilism. Often there is immaturity, bad luck, capriciousness, sentimentality, excessive emotionality. All these are signs of a weak Sushumna. The Sushumna does not properly connect the three fields of the three lingams, does not properly transfer energy from one place to another. Therefore, some places are not saturated. Our task is to practice in a certain way, to go through specific stages, for example, to block energy leaks, to not allow the leakage of sexual energy, mental energy through a disciplined lifestyle, and emotional energy. That is, a sadhu conducts themselves so as to accumulate energy and purify the channels so that all channels are clean and energy can circulate. Then, to strengthen the overall prana and harmonize it by doing prana vidyas, pranayamas, and asanas. Increasing the level of prana is the third step. The fourth is to untie the granthis. Brahma Granthi forces one to reproduce, to make a family, to make children, to copulate, to receive coarse pleasure. When we untie it, Brahma no longer obligates us. This biblical commandment, be fruitful and multiply, is exactly the Brahma Granthi. But if the yogi has already untied it, then God says, no, you do not need to be fruitful and multiply. You can already be a sannyasi. You can walk the path of liberation. Vishnu Granthi is connected with our emotional life, patterns of the mind, stereotypes of the ego. It is the clinging to the ego, that which does not give us the ability to be in an open state. And Shiva Granthi is the subtle clinging to concepts, subtle dualistic notions. All these Granthis must be untied. And as long as the granthis are not untied, our energy moves in a conditioned way with obstacles. It cannot fully circulate. It takes a yogi some time to untie the granthis. Therefore, I always laugh at people who, having read and assimilated the view of Advaita, say things like, I am absolute. In Brahman, there is neither this nor that, so why do I need practice? In Brahman, there isn't, but in your body, there are granthis. How will you realize Brahman if you have 3 granthis and your energy does not circulate properly? You cannot reject energy. You depend on energy. You are not a self-dependent being like Ishvara, who is Svatantra. You are asvatantra, you are a dependent being, including dependence on prana, and therefore, if you depend on prana, your judgments and perception depend entirely on prana. For example, if you give someone an injection, their prana will change, and their entire view will immediately be lost. Isn't that so? Is that realization? A simple injection can plunge one into sleep, that's all. And all the non-dual view, all thoughts of absoluteness have vanished. And this is dependence on prana. It is another question if one maintains continuous consciousness, even in dreamless sleep, even during the injection, then you can say yes, it is an independent consciousness, even from prana. So, untie the granthis, then fill the 4 lingams with prana. All these 4 spaces must be filled because a deficiency in one space or another does not allow us the possibility to experience all the qualities of that space. We lack either Jnana, Iccha, or Kriya, that is either wisdom, love, or vital force. And then attend to the central channel, awaken the central channel, expand it, and make it wide and strong so that it sufficiently feeds all the lingams. And after that, one should feed the lingam with the power of the Sushumna Nadi, and feed the Sushumna with the power of these spaces of the lingams. Expand the Sushumna, expand the space of the lingams, and establish a connection with heaven and earth, that is, with Shiva and Shakti, and joining them all together, engage in the smelting, for example, the smelting of the 3 awakened bodies. The 3 awakened bodies are precisely born from these 3 lingams when we do everything correctly. Here, Jnanadeha, Pranavadeha, and Siddhadeha are generated. This is the secret of the alchemical transmutation of the smelting of the three lingams. In addition to these four lingams, we all have, through the Sushumna Nadi, a connection with Shiva and Shakti. In upper part of the body, the Sushumna Nadi goes high up, and it connects us with the cosmic Mahaprana, with the prana of the sun, moon, stars, planets, the center of the galaxy, and with the prana of the subtle worlds and causal worlds. Through the Sushumna Nadi, we touch Shiva, one might say, even physically, literally. In this context, Shiva includes the element of space and Mahatattva, the element of consciousness. This is the upper part of the Sushumna Nadi. Through the lower part of the Sushumna Nadi, we connect with Shakti, with the earth. The energy of Shakti is the earth. Heaven, earth, and human, these are Shiva, Shakti, and Nara. Earth includes the element of earth itself, the element of water, the element of fire, and the element of wind. We, as humans, through the Sushumna Nadi, connect with the space of heaven and the space of earth. It happens that a person has much Shakti but little Shiva, which means there is much power but little intelligence, little awareness, little intuition, much fuss, many actions but little understanding and little result. It happens the other way around, much Shiva, little Shakti, which means abiding in beautiful dreams, in plans of clarity, but in reality being unable to do anything at all. There is a balanced Shiva and Shakti that interact within. This is the ideal state. A strong Shiva in a person means a spiritualized consciousness, striving toward its goal, abiding in awareness. A weak Shiva means there is little clarity, dreaminess, fantasies, and no right direction. There is strong Shakti, this is groundedness, effectiveness, productivity, and being centered. There is weak Shakti, this is sluggishness, dullness, and an absence of aspirations. A strong person is one in whom there are three Shaktis, Shiva, Shakti, and the Nara energy, consisting of the four lingams, all of which are balanced. For example, if we consider these three lingams, the upper lingam, the person has a strong mind, great wisdom, and they have a strong upper field of the lingam. If the middle lingam is weakened, they have no love. That is, they have a callous heart. They do not emotionally understand others, and they perceive everything intellectually. If the lower lingam is also weakened, meaning they have little vital force, then this is a person who lives by the mind, by clarity, and perceives the Dharma in this way. There is another person, for example, they have a strong middle lingam, they have a lot of love, they can feel subtly and emotionally, they have a devoted heart, a wide heart, but the upper lingam is weak. As far as clarity, understanding of emptiness, the subtlety of the teaching, and will are concerned, these are weakened in them. If the lower lingam is average, it means they have an average level of energy. Or for example, if a person has a strong lower lingam, they are charged for action, have great vital force. But the middle lingam is weak, that is, their heart is not loving, they have emotional callousness. And the upper lingam is also weak, that is, they act and then think while loving no one. Such a person will be active and impulsive, but will always make mistakes and fall into various difficult situations. There are multifaceted combinations where the field of some lingam is strong or weak, and depending on this, we perceive the world and act in such a way. Ideally, the Sushumna, Jyoti lingam, and all three lingams should be saturated with energy and balanced. When concentrating on the chakras corresponding to the lingam, you have the corresponding experiences and corresponding realizations. How to activate them in the simplest way? Take your right hand, the middle finger, and imagine how it is saturated with energy and how energy radiates from the middle finger. Then place the middle finger to the space between the eyebrows, imagining how a beam of light radiates from the middle finger into the brow and begins to saturate the brain and the bones of the skull. And imagine how the pulsating energy saturates the brow in diverging circles. You can even not touch it, but radiate energy into the brow. But if you feel nothing, then simply touch it. Then touch the center of the chest, send energy into the center of the chest, and imagine a radiant lingam in the center of the chest of a white golden color. It is located in a dome-shaped building, completely flooded with pure light, like a reservoir of energy that feeds all the organs of your body, the energetic system of chakras and channels. Also send energy through the right hand, imagining how the linga kshetra, the amrita kshetra, the field of elixir around the lingam, increases. Magnanimity, the energy of the four infinites, increases. As the areas are saturated with energy, one can feel the space in which the lingam is located. This is the space of your internal energetic system of chakras and channels. Then touch the lower Swayambhu lingam, that is the point below the navel, approximately 3 fingers down. The area of the Swayambhu lingam includes the Muladhara chakra, Svadhisthana chakra, and that which is above it, the area of Yonisthana. Send energy into the area of the Swayambhu lingam, imagining it to be a smoky gray color, as this area fills with energy. This area is responsible for our vital force. From here, you can draw vast bodily and other vital strength for action. This is your Kriya Shakti. In every lingam, a power Shakti is hidden. From the center of the chest, you can draw Iccha Shakti. From the brow, you can draw Jnana Shakti. Each lingam is a source of power, if it is enlivened and awakened. These are infinite reservoirs of energy to which one must gain access, and the Sushumna connects these reservoirs and pumps this energy from one to another. The entire theory of lingams is built on this. We need to gain access, to awaken and enliven the lingams, to gain access to the energy, and to awaken our 3 inner energies, Jnana, Iccha, and Kriya. So, the 3 lingams, Bhava lingam, prana lingam, and Ishta lingam. Of these, prana linga means working with the energetic system of the 3 main lingams and channels, and the awakening of the Sushumna. This is a very important secret branch of the teachings of the Siddhas, which must be realized until the granthis are untied. The lingams are awakened and become an alchemical source of energy. And our 3 powers, Jnana Shakti, Iccha Shakti, and Kriya Shakti, are awakened.